Welcome back to Wainsider, where we dive deep into the raw, pulsating heart of WWE's most gripping stories. Tonight, we're unpacking a moment that has the WWE Universe buzzing: Roman Reigns' intense backstage confrontation with Jacob Fatu on WWE Raw. This wasn't just a meeting, it was a collision of family, pride, and simmering resentment, threatening to tear apart the very fabric of the bloodline. Let's peel back the layers of this emotional powder keg, tracing the history of the Anoa'i dynasty and building to a moment that could redefine their legacy. The bloodline is more than a faction, it's a dynasty etched in the annals of WWE history. When Roman Reigns declared himself the tribal chief, he didn't just claim a title, he forged an empire. With Paul Heyman's cunning and the loyalty of the Usos, Reigns built a juggernaut that dominated the industry. But that dominance came with a price. The weight of leadership pressed down on Reigns, and his demand for unwavering loyalty created a pressure cooker for those bound to him by blood. The Anoa'i family's legacy was one of pride, but also of unspoken tension. Jey Uso was the first to feel the strain. A tag team icon alongside his twin Jimmy, Jey's journey into the bloodline was a trial by fire. His early defiance of Reigns, those brutal, "I quit" matches, forced him to submit, but the cost was his individuality. Jey's loyalty was forged in sacrifice, his heart torn between family duty and personal ambition. Every championship defense, every moment of glory for Reigns, was built on Jey's sweat and silent resentment. The WWE Universe saw it in his eyes, a man wrestling with his own identity. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. Jimmy Uso, Jey's mirror, carried a different burden. His role in the bloodline was one of quiet endurance, his brief rebellion against Reigns quickly crushed. The twins, once inseparable, found their bond tested by the tribal chief's hierarchy. They were the backbone of the faction, the tag team champions who carried the bloodline's banner, but their sacrifices were often eclipsed by Reigns' spotlight. The love between brothers remained, but it was strained by the weight of expectation and the shadow of power. Sami Zayn's arrival added a new layer to this complex tapestry. An outsider welcomed into the fold, Sami brought heart and humor, briefly uniting the bloodline. But his presence also exposed its cracks. Jey's initial distrust of Sami gave way to a brotherly bond, only for it to shatter when Sami betrayed Reigns at Royal Rumble 2023. That moment was a wound that never healed, a reminder that loyalty in the bloodline was fragile. Sami's exit left Jey questioning his own place, sowing seeds of doubt that would linger. Solo Sikoa, the youngest, was the silent enforcer, a man of few words but devastating force. His loyalty to Reigns seemed absolute, but there was always a flicker of ambition in his eyes. Solo's role as the muscle of the bloodline was clear, but his silence masked a deeper question: was he content to serve, or was he waiting for his moment to claim the throne? The WWE Universe watched him closely, sensing that his quiet strength could one day erupt into rebellion. Family, after all, is both a bond and a battlefield. The Bloodline's reign was historic, with Reigns holding the undisputed WWE Universal Championship for over 1,000 days. But power breeds tension, and the cracks began to show. Jey's departure from the Bloodline in 2023 was a seismic shift, a declaration that he could no longer live in Reigns' shadow. His YEET movement became a symbol of independence, a way to forge his own path. Yet, the pull of family was undeniable, and Jey's heart remained tied to the bloodline, even as he walked away. Enter Jacob Fatu, a new force in the Anoa'i family saga. A cousin with a fearsome reputation from the independent scene, Fatu joined WWE in 2025 as part of Solo Sikoa'S splinter faction, the main family threat MFT, alongside Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga. His arrival was a game-changer, a direct challenge to Reigns' authority. Fatu's raw intensity and family ties made him a natural fit for Solo's rebellion, but they also stirred up old wounds. The WWE Universe sensed that his presence would ignite a powder keg within the bloodline. The stage was set on the August 11, 2025, episode of Raw. Reigns, still reeling from Solo's betrayal and the rise of the MFT, was navigating a fractured bloodline. Jey had returned to his side, their reunion an uneasy truce born of necessity. The main event saw Reigns and Jey facing off against Solo's faction, a brutal clash that ended in a controversial finish. The WWE Universe was on edge, expecting fireworks, but nothing could prepare them for what happened next. Backstage, as the arena lights dimmed, the real drama unfolded. Jacob Fatu, flanked by the MFT, ambushed Reigns in a dimly lit corridor. The attack was swift and savage, a shocking climax that caught the WWE Universe off guard. Fatu's moonsault off a production crate crushed Reigns against the concrete, while Solo, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga stood watch. The assault, captured in a grainy clip shared on X, was a statement. The MFT was here to dismantle the tribal chief's empire, piece by piece. The attack wasn't just physical, it was deeply personal. Jacob Fatu, a blood relative, had chosen Solo's side over Reigns, a betrayal that cut deeper than any outsiders could. As Wrestling Observer reported, Fatu's actions were a deliberate escalation, a way to assert the MFT's claim to the Anoa'i legacy. The WWE Universe watched in stunned silence as Reigns lay motionless, his aura of invincibility shattered. Social media erupted, with posts on X calling it the moment the bloodline broke. The emotional aftermath was a storm of pain and confusion. For Reigns, this was more than an attack, it was a betrayal by family, a wound that echoed Sami's and Solo's defections. The tribal chief, once untouchable, was now vulnerable, his empire crumbling under the weight of internal strife. Jay, who witnessed the ambush, was torn, his loyalty to Reigns clashed with the shock of seeing another cousin turn against them. The WWE Universe felt the weight of this moment, a family unraveling before their eyes. Backstage whispers, as reported by PW Insider, painted a picture of a creative team pushing the boundaries of the Bloodline's story. Triple H, ever the mastermind, saw Fatu's attack as a way to elevate the stakes for SummerSlam 2025. The MFT's rise was a calculated move to challenge Reigns' dominance, positioning Fatu as a wildcard who could redefine the family's legacy. The question on everyone's mind, could Reigns rally, or was this the beginning of the end? The WWE Universe took to X, with fans divided over Fatu's actions. Some saw him as a liberator, a fresh face breaking free from Reigns' shadow, while others viewed him as a traitor, spitting on the family's unity. The hashtag Bloodline Betrayal trended worldwide, reflecting the emotional weight of this schism. For Jay, the attack was a painful reminder of his own struggles within the bloodline, a mirror to his own rebellion and return. The confrontation that followed was the heart of this story. Later in the night, Reigns, battered but defiant, tracked down Fatu backstage. The meeting, aired on Raw and dissected by Busted Open Radio, was electric. Reigns' words were laced with pain and pride, calling Fatu a disgrace to the family for aligning with Solo. Fatu's response was cold, his eyes burning with defiance as he declared the MFT the future of the Anoa'i legacy. The tension was palpable, a clash of two titans bound by blood but divided by ambition. The emotional weight of this moment lingered. Reigns' confrontation with Fatu wasn't just about the attack, it was about the fracturing of a dynasty. The tribal chief had built the bloodline on the idea of family, but that idea was crumbling. Jay's presence at Reigns' side was a testament to their shared history, but it also highlighted the cost of loyalty. Every sacrifice, every battle, had led to this moment, where blood was both a bond and a breaking point. The implications for SummerSlam 2025 are massive. Reigns and Jay's uneasy alliance faces its greatest test against the MFT, a faction that combines family ties with ruthless ambition. As Bleacher Report noted, Fatu's attack was a turning point, a moment that shifted the power dynamic within the bloodline. Solo's leadership, bolstered by Fatu's ferocity, poses a real threat to Reigns' throne. The WWE Universe is left wondering if the tribal chief can reclaim his dominance or if the MFT will rewrite the family's story. Backstage rumors, as cited by Fightful Select, suggest that WWE is leaning into this family war, with creative plans to explore the emotional complexity of the bloodline. Some writers push for Fatu to emerge as a breakout star, while others argue for Reigns to reclaim his crown. The uncertainty adds to the drama, as the WWE Universe speculates about Jimmy Uso's return and where his loyalties will lie. The family's future is a puzzle, each piece tied to blood and betrayal. The Anoa'i family's legacy is one of unparalleled influence, from Yokozuna to The Rock to Roman Reigns. But that legacy comes with a cost. Fatu's attack and Reigns' response are a microcosm of the bloodline's history, a clash of pride, power, and pain. Reigns' words to Fatu were a plea to remember the family's unity, but they were also a challenge to prove who truly carries the Anoa name. The WWE Universe watches, breathless, as this saga unfolds. The emotional core of this moment is the fractured bond of family. Reigns' confrontation with Fatu was a stand for the empire he built, but it was also an acknowledgement of its fragility. Jay's loyalty, Fatu's rebellion, and Solo's shadow loom large, each a thread in a tapestry that is both beautiful and broken. The WWE Universe feels the weight of this schism, a family they've cheered for years now tearing itself apart. The backstage meeting between Reigns and Fatu was a turning point, a moment that exposed the cracks in the bloodline's foundation. Reigns' defiance in the face of betrayal showed his resilience, but it also revealed his vulnerability. Fatu's cold stare and bold words were a declaration of war, a sign that the MFT is not just a faction but a rival dynasty. The war for the Anoa legacy is heating up, and the stakes have never been higher. As we look to the future, the question looms, can the bloodline survive this betrayal? Reigns' confrontation with Fatu was a rallying cry, but it was also a cry of pain. The attack exposed the fragility of the family he's fought to hold together, and Jay's loyalty hangs by a thread. The MFT represents a new generation, one that respects the past but demands its own future. The WWE Universe is caught in the middle, torn between the tribal chief and the rising tide of rebellion. This moment is about more than a backstage clash, it's about the soul of the bloodline. Reigns' words to Fatu were a defense of his legacy, but they were also a plea for family. Fatu's rebellion, like Solo's before him, is a mirror to the struggles of Jay and Jimmy, a reminder that power fractures even the strongest bonds. The WWE Universe watches, hearts heavy, as the Anoa family's story takes a darker turn. The legacy they've built is at stake, and every move is a gamble. In the end, this is about blood, trust, and the sting of betrayal. Roman Reigns' meeting with Jacob Fatu was a stand for the family he's fought for, but it was also a confrontation with its breaking point. The Bloodline's saga is one of triumph and tragedy, of love and loss, and this moment on Raw was a stark reminder of that. As we close, let's reflect on the cost of broken trust, the pain of betrayal, and the enduring power of blood. Thanks for joining us on Wainsider. Until next time, keep your eyes on the ring, because the Bloodline's war is far from over.